Hello, everyone, and welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. Uh, my name is Anne. I am the community ambassador here, and my pronouns are she, her. I am here with my lovely friend and collaborator, Shelby. Say hi, Shelby.
Hello.
And we are here to play a game called I Have the High Ground by Jess Levine, who is just a wonderfully brilliant game designer and a lovely human. Um, yeah, before we get started, did you want to introduce yourself very quickly, Shelby? Just do a little thing about yourself.
Okay. Well, as Anne said, and as I confirmed, my name is Shelby. I go by she, they pronouns. Um, and I kind of lurk on the internet, and people sometimes pay me to do fun things. But I enjoy telling creative stories that make people smile and bring a little bit of joy. And hopefully, this will be one of them for all of you.
I mean, I'm already smiling getting to do this thing with you, Shelby. So we're off to a great start. Um, so let's see. Um, um, I just need to make sure I have the right section here. Um, so to quickly explain the game, I Have the High Ground is a short collaborative game for two players, hence, me and Shelby. Um, it's about a duel of posturing and wits before a battle. Now, you can play this game a number of different ways in a number of different settings. It doesn't actually have to be a battle involved, you know. Um, and in our case, there will be no bloodshed involved. There will be a battle, but no bloodshed. Um, Also, we just realized minutes ago that this is a very fancy game of rock, paper, scissors. Um,
But it's a great fancy game of rock, paper, scissors.
it is an absolutely amazing fancy game of rock, paper, scissors. It is the rules have a fencing theme to them, but can reflavor and do things that suit your narrative. Let's see.
So, what genre did we go with, Anne?
Oh yeah, the genre discussion. We are doing a reality TV baking competition. So that was a really fun idea that I came up with in the middle of the night and said, "Hey Shelby, what do you think?" And then, um, so
And we're throwing in the option of a little bit of sabotage. So it's kind of like Chopped. So things might get a little bit zesty.
yeah, it's I used to back when I was still living in Canada, uh, spend many a late night watching Food Network. So that's kind of where that came from. So
Mhm.
that is our genre. Um, I think the next thing we have to decide is our stakes, which of course, again, following with the fencing theme. However, in terms of stakes in the context of our narrative, I don't know. What are you feeling, Shelby?
I think that it's not really that huge of a deal. So I'm thinking it would be foil for low stakes, which also fits because you use foil in baking.
I
And
mean,
as they point out in here, pride is not a small feeling. And these baking shows are very much about pride.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like, for um, bakers, a lot of times in these competitions, if it could change their lives, put them on the map. So,
Oh,
that
yeah.
pride is a big deal. It's bragging rights more than anything, I think, you
Oh, for
know.
sure. So why
Uh,
don't we go with foil for that?
yeah, right. That is perfect. A lot of drama, but really not huge stakes. Um, and our next section is the history section. This is where we get into the meat of our backstory. I love this part so much. And
Mm-hmm.
the question that we're answering here is, who are your characters to each other? Um, I know we threw some ideas around for this, and I was actually thinking like maybe like a one-sided respect, like maybe just you know, someone who's like this amazing baker doesn't even know that this person exists, and then this, you know, young uh up and coming person admiring them from afar. Like they've never even met. It's just like, oh, I want to be on TV like them, or that's kind of the vibe I was thinking.
Okay. Okay. So if we're going with the idea that oh that my character has been on TV before. So my character, the concept I came up with, her name is Phoebe, and she is the food truck cupcake maven. So the show that she was on before was Food Truck Wars.
Oh, she's clearly a food truck wars champion. Like who
Yes,
doesn't
she
love
is.
cupcakes? Oh my goodness. My character Elsie could have been like her favorite season of the show, and it was like the first time a baker won food truck wars or something like really epic, and she's like super inspired by your character.
Okay. All right, that works. And for those of you who might have seen some of us in another Girls Run These Worlds production, I'm kind of running with the truck theme
Hey,
because Anne and I were both crab truckers. So
hey, by the way, you're on YouTube right now. They're in the After you watch this, I totally recommend you go watch that.
yes, it is wild. So I'm sticking with the truck theme. And yeah, Phoebe is just like really dedicated and focused and driven, but also very creative. Her food combinations are unbelievable.
Yeah, and I
And
I think
it was her kimchi cupcake that won her the grand championship of Food Truck Wars.
it was like the most brilliant savory cupcake situation, and it's just like have a meal in cupcake form.
Hmm.
I mean, Phoebe is a visionary. Question: does her food truck have a name, or what's her brand? That's what I want to know.
Well, because her cupcakes are kind of unusual, um, she kind of thinks of them as like mythical beasts. So Phoebe's Beastly Cupcakes.
Yes, amazing. So, I imagine Elsie as a baking influencer YouTuber. Um, and her goal is to get into competitions and things. She's never been in one, but she wants to um, those competitions. She's a one of those like classically trained like pastry school uh types, but you know, she's trying to be more creative, but she leans heavily into a lot of classical training. Her videos, of the videos that have gone viral, are the really kind of complex decorating videos, but
Hmm.
they're not very like they're familiar flavors and things that she's learned. They're not as adventurous as Phoebe. She sticks to the classics, but her creativity lies in how she decorates cakes.
Okay.
Um, she will do sculptures out of red velvet and stuff like that for content. Yeah, so that's kind of her vibe. Classically trained, but makes really
So,
pretty cakes.
so what video of Elsie's has gotten the most hits? What's her most popular video?
I think okay, so aside from her cake decorating shorts, the ones that are like sped up, I
Hmm.
think her I think what she's actually really popular for is her reaction videos to competition shows. Like she had a series where she would react to food truck wars. and and that's kind of her thing that that makes her stand out amidst the other baking YouTubers because she does reaction videos to
Okay.
to to those shows. And it's
Okay.
always like one day I could be on that.
Okay. So we've established our backstory. So, and we've also kind of rolled, the next part will be personality descriptions, but we've kind of rolled that in already in talking about our backstories.
Um, we could we could definitely still pick out the
Okay.
the sets of words here, just because we should.
They're really cool.
They are really cool. I definitely the young versus wizened
Okay.
vibes that we could that one makes the most sense based on what we established. Um,
Okay.
then it says together pick one individual descriptor that both characters share. Um,
Hmm.
hmm. I'm wondering if we are limited to these words. Flamboyant. I mean, their art is flamboyant in different ways. Like
Yeah.
the flavor profiles that Phoebe has versus the actual aesthetics of what Elsie does is um, a good one.
Hmm.
So we can,
So flamboyant, I think, works very well for both of us.
yeah, I think so too. Actually, that's great. And then I'm not 100% sure we need to stick to these particular lists, but we do also have to pick 3 words that describe our characters individually, so
Hmm.
we can do that. I mean, you are absolutely correct in that we kind of already did it, but it's good to
Yeah.
establish step by step.
So looking off of this list, I would say that Phoebe is passionate. She is tactical. There's a lot of flash and flare to what she does, but that doesn't mean that there isn't logic behind it also. Um, and she can be imposing. You kind of have to be. If you're going to be leading a food service operation, you need to have that personality to get things moving.
Oh, absolutely. I think one of my words for Elsie is going to be open book. I mean, when you are a tuber influencer type, um, you tend to put a lot of yourself out there. So Elsie is an open book. Um, let's see what else. Um, I think she is also wordy. Because if you have seen Elsie's reaction videos, it gets very wordy, and also mixed in with excited squealing noises, but definitely wordy. Um, what else is ooh. And I am going to say articulate only because I feel like that makes sense for someone who does content creation to be
Mhm.
articulate and know how to do words good.
But yeah,
um, wow, our characters are so interesting, and we haven't even started playing the game yet. I love
I
this so
know.
much. Um,
The next
okay.
part is the exposition. What brings the two of you to this particular battlefield today? So, first off, what is the name of this competition that we've been in? Because I picture us, this is the final round, and it's just the two of us against each other.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
Tournament style. We climbed our way to the top of the
Okay.
mountain and we have to face each other, right? So it is a tournament style competition called I don't know. Uh ooh, okay. It's simple, but I think it's direct. We're going to call it
Okay.
Cupcake Wars. And I am going to say that um Elsie can do cupcakes, but it's not like her main thing. She does big elaborate cakes, right? So she's like, I am going to get to the end of this tournament and my cupcakes are going to be amazing and they're going to be the best of the best. So I think that's kind of why Elsie has come to the battlefield, so to speak. I think
Hmm.
she's trying to prove that she's more than just a YouTuber, that her she wants to prove that her training is solid, her skills are great. Like she has something to prove in a way that maybe someone who is a veteran like Phoebe may not. She has that chip on her shoulder.
Okay. So the reason why Phoebe is here is because she's been in the food truck business for a long time and she's getting tired of it. Because the truck takes maintenance. There's always something that could go wrong. Um, Trying to find a good location, always updating the app to let people know where you are. It's just a bunch of fuss. And she's hoping that by winning Cupcake Wars, she can get the notoriety that she needs and prove to some potential investors that she has what it takes to open her own restaurant.
She's going brick and mortar.
I know. Gasp.
Whoa. amazing. I mean, there's as far as stakes go, that cash prize could certainly, it could help Phoebe get a nice space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, that's totally valid. I mean, that food truck life, am I right? maybe maybe at some point you'll be able to hire people to do the marketing and all the boring stuff too.
So that I
Phoebe's
can
just like,
just
why?
so that I can just be in the kitchen working on my cupcakes and not have to worry about hashtags or SEO or all of that other nonsense. I just want to be me and the food.
I mean, I respect the fact that for a long time it was just Phoebe and the truck and the food, but like, the nature of business, business.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough out there.
It is.
Meanwhile, Elsie's just like, hmm, prize money, better equipment, new studio. Hmm. She's just like, I love this content creation life. I am super young, but also I want to make money so I can compete in more things and be, like I don't know that she necessarily wants to be like, you know, famous, but she also, wants to move up. Maybe have enough under her belt to I don't know, go around and become a pastry chef at a Michelin star restaurant or something. Like, she
Yeah.
wants to advance her career. I think as much as she's finding success in her YouTube channel, um, which is called Sweet Elsie's Sweets, because she loves a palindrome. Um, um, eventually she does want to advance in the food world and, you know, in a in a real in a real kitchen, in a real uh, pastry chef role, because that was her original dream before she let social media and being an influencer kind of get to her head a little bit.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason she's in this competition is also to kind of refocus herself. Like it's not about being famous, even though she's on TV doing this competition. She's young. She's very immature in a lot of ways. So
Okay.
it's the energy and confidence of someone in their early 20s who hasn't been around long enough to get jaded, I think.
Whereas Phoebe is in her 40s, where it's starting to get a little bit harder to get up in the morning, especially after long days in the truck. So, since we're on a reality show, the next thing is environment. Where does our duel take place? Since we're on a reality show, I'm going to say that it is a state of the art kitchen.
Oh, you know what I'm envisioning? Because I made a
Mm,
reference to this earlier, but like, kitchen stadium with the two really big sides of the kitchen and like
hmm.
multiple ovens and things. Like, it's the most extravagant, like, baking competition. And it's just two different two different bakers at the end. It's like it's one versus one, like each round, but then it's like tournament style, right? So
Yeah.
um yeah, that's what I'm picturing. I am picturing kitchen stadium, like bright flashing lights and like um I don't know, an extravagant host who is definitely wearing a cape and a big poofy baker hat, like a
Yes.
chef's hat or whatever.
The chef's toque. Yeah.
Yeah, like it just is the most extravagant thing. and
Although they had to cut down on the length of the cape, and they had to be careful with the material because one time one of the hosts got too close to an open burner, and that was a little bit too exciting. So
yeah, uh, it got a little too real. Um,
yeah,
hazards of the
okay,
job, they say. Um, yeah, he was recovering for a while. Like he couldn't host wedding cake wars, or like there's a whole franchise of these competitions, and he was like out of commission for a year because of that incident, so they had to hire a new guy. It's a whole thing.
yeah,
The reality baking competition scene is dangerous.
it's hardcore.
There's so many like burners, open flames, ovens, things could go wrong. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, don't even get me started on the handheld torches and the things that people use sometimes.
Oh,
Oh no.
yeah, the creme brulee torch is just.
I mean, it just takes a little bit of turning the knob too much to, ignite a whole flambe to a crisp. It's just not good for business.
And if you
uh,
get too close, no eyebrows.
oh man. F's in chat for eyebrows, man. So
Okay.
so definitely state of the art,
Hmm.
um, chaotic, and chaotic. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like baking assistants and people everywhere. So state of the art, chaotic, and bright with bright lights, or spacious
Yes.
even. Those are really good words, actually. You know what? We will choose four because we are extra like
Because
that.
we are extra like that. Yes.
Um, we're going a little off book because all of these words are actually really amazing.
Yeah.
Chaotic. Oh my goodness. I'm so inspired right now. Bright. Because, you got to have the right lighting for TV.
Hmm.
And spacious, definitely spacious. It is a very extra kitchen stadium style setup.
Hmm.
Very,
And
okay.
with all the chrome and the fire and the lighting, it is there's and like the intensity, there's kind of like a Mad Max element to it.
Oh yes.
It can get super intense.
Oh man, the pyrotechnics budget on this franchise. Like they tried it once for birthday cake wars and thought it was the most brilliant thing, so they started doing it for all of the different competitions. They were like,
Yes.
Mad Max, I like this vibe. Or
Yeah.
like sometimes they'll do like rock star pyrotechnics, or just they experiment with a lot of.
Some really sick guitar riffs.
Yeah, I mean, it entirely depends on whatever the competition is. I love
Hmm.
that. Or the theme of the finale, the final round is Mad Max. I'm gonna take what you said and run with it because that is
So I'm
amazing.
just picturing like leather and spikes and okay.
I mean, you know what? We're going with it. We are absolutely running with this because
Yes.
we are absolutely running with this because you said Mad Max and I was 100% there.
Yes.
Um, all right, so um, I am going to check in with you really quick because we are now at the top of the hour. We've been doing our background stuff for the last half hour. before we get any further, did you need a drink or did you take your
Nope.
meds? Everything's good?
Everything's good. How about you?
I am good. I am caffeinated and absolutely good. So, yeah.
All right.
Um, they can edit this out in post. I just wanted to check in because checking in is important.
Yes, it is.
Um, we're getting to the good parts now because we're almost
Yes.
close to game time. Um, so there is a really fun mechanic that involves an actual cape. Which I am a little sad that I lost my cape because I did own a. It's more like a capelet. It's a
Mhm.
shorter cape, but I did own one from my LARP days, and I have no idea where it is. So that
I
is
have
sad.
I have a beautiful hand woven cloak that I got at a Ren fair, but it's packed up and I didn't know where it was in
I
time to get there.
mean,
So
honestly,
I don't
honestly,
have a cape, but I have a dish towel.
okay, but listen, you actually know that your cape is somewhere packed up. Mine has disappeared. So, I mean, I'm willing to count that because I am a benevolent being.
Okay.
Also, but also, we can go through the questions. Um, so whoever opted to wear a cape, which character's cape is closest to floor length? Whichever player owns a cape, which we have established that we do both own capes. Um, Whichever player last wore a cape. I feel like you probably wore your cape a lot more recently than 2016.
I think so, yes.
See, there you go. There's the tiebreaker.
And it's a gorgeous cloak too. It's got sunset colors in it. Hand woven,
Uh
wonderful.
uh Mild tangent. When you find it, I would like for you to model it because that sounds amazing.
It is.
Anyway,
Okay.
I digress. So the person who has um I suppose passed the Cape test. Is that how we call it?
I guess so.
Um, so whoever has passed the Cape test and has won, um, may choose to pick first in one of the other sections in the game coming up. Um, so Shelby, would you like to either choose first in terms of picking an advantage, and or would you like to begin the game with priority and be able to win in ties if we essentially pick the same move?
I think I'm going to go with with an advantage. Be spicy up in here. So the advantage that I'm going to pick, even though our kitchen is state of the art, we are each allowed to bring one thing from our own home kitchen.
Mm,
And I have chosen to bring my superior, trusty whisk. This
mm.
whisk made an appearance on Food Truck Wars, and in fact got me the nickname of the Whisk Taker, which is a
Okay,
terrible play on words, but
the whisk is arguably more famous than Phoebe. there's
perhaps.
there's like fan pages or whatever. Tumblr memes. I don't know. Elsie may or may not have been a part of those memes. Um, hmm. I think that um, Elsie will have extensive training for this particular fight. I think she's been on her cupcake game. She like her content for the last like leading up to the competition itself has been smaller. It's been like cupcake training. It's like trying to create these gorgeous designs in a small cupcake sort of thing. Um, there are times where she's done some wild like multi cupcake like stacking designs, or she'll have those pull apart designs of just like different things,
Nice.
but it's cupcakes. She did she once did her home state of California, but pull apart cupcakes
Oh, cool.
as a video. She's just, yeah, so I'm gonna say like she's practiced a lot. Please hold, there is noise and I need to address this real quick. Sorry, my AC did a noise. Uh, anyway, so yeah, Elsie has done training, so extensive training for the finale, for the whole tournament, really. Let's be real. Um, Another advantage for Phoebe.
I'm going to go with the element of surprise
Um,
because even though she's kind of old and kind of tired, I'm not saying old as in age because 40s is not old.
yeah.
Old in the restaurant scene, we'll call it that. She
She's
still
a
has some, she has
veteran.
some, yeah, she has some tricks up her sleeve still.
Okay, I think I've got it. For her second advantage, Elsie is going to have comprehensive intel on Phoebe. But hear me out. Hear me out. It's not even like she's intentionally doing it. I just think she's such a big fan that she has a encyclopedic knowledge of her history in the food business. And specifically her like winning record in like just food competitions. Like she can spew out stats like she's broken 7 whisks in the last uh, wedding cake wars, and then she built a seven tier cake, and it's the first time that was like a record breaking uh, design and whatever. And she'll just have all of this intel about Phoebe. Not not because she's super competitive. She's just an obsessed fangirl. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so those are our advantages. Ooh, clothing. That's fun. Um, what is your character's clothing like? Establish 2 or more details. Hmm. You may specify items or provide adjectives that describe your overall flat fashion. Wow, I know how to do English words. I'm good.
Well, Phoebe is a very casual kind of person and established her style on Food Truck Wars. Just very breathable materials because you're inside a truck, it's going to get hot and sweaty. So you want stuff that'll be comfortable that you can wear for a long time, but that'll still breathe. So like natural fibers, like linen pants, like the linen, like a linen shirt, and her apron. Her apron is dark green, and because she specializes in, well, what she calls beastly cupcakes, there is a jackalope on her apron. A jackalope is essentially a cryptid, an American cryptid that's like a jackrabbit with antelope horns.
That is so rad.
Yes.
I think Elsie's style is like preppy pastry chef kind of vibes where when she went to like pastry chef school or whatever, um, she went to culinary school. She has like, the white culinary jacket situation, like very clean and preppy, but she also pairs it up with like, you know, a gray like A-line skirt and a really nice blouse, like a button-up shirt, or if she's feeling a little more relaxed, she'll wear a t-shirt underneath her jacket. But she tries to appear more professional and grown up, because that's kind of her vibe. So what she's wearing to the competition is her kind of standard I'm being a professional look, which is her gray skirt, her nice like light pink blouse over her pastry chef jacket, very official. It's got her name embroidered on it, very official. Um, yeah, that is the look.
All right. So next up, our weapon. I think
Uh,
we've already established that Phoebe's is her whisk.
um, so I don't know how this will match up to the whisk, but Elsie has a book of recipes and notes. I think she like heavily relies on those because she is very ADHD and doesn't remember things very well. So her weapon and the thing that makes her successful is that she can refer back to her notes, very much like a young student. So that's her weapon.
Okay.
Not nearly as badass as Phoebe, of course, but know, if you equate her to a wizard in the kitchen, then that would be like essentially her spell book. She'd be nothing
Okay.
without it. Um,
Okay. I'll go with that.
yeah. It's also like such a bad idea to have it in the kitchen because it could get stained or spill stuff on and stuff. So the fact that it survived culinary school is like a minor miracle. Um, so,
That's what makes it powerful, is that is its durability.
I mean, it's not a superior weapon. It still has its vulnerabilities, but it is something. Whoo! Here we are. We're getting to the meat and potatoes of the game. How excited are you, Shelly?
Yes. We
Okay.
have one last thing, the inventory. Two
Yeah.
or more items on your person. They can be fashion accessories, they can be utilitarian things, pretty much any like small trinkets that you feel like could describe your person or enhance your character. For Phoebe, she would have a Swiss Army knife, because you're always going to need to fix something. Actually, correction, not a Swiss Army knife, a Leatherman, because those are like true handy tools right there. So she has a Leatherman. Uh, let's see. She has a pocket first aid kit, and she has a rubber ducky. Now, the rubber ducky, it might seem random, but there is a there's a little there's a quirk among people who work in STEM, particularly with computers, with coding, or anybody who works with complex processes. It usually helps to talk it out. And so that you don't bug your coworkers, you find something to talk to. And this the whole ducky thing comes from people having actual little rubber duckies that they talk to, and they describe their process so they can, work out what went wrong. So Phoebe has her rubber ducky so that she can describe what she did in her recipe and figure out where it went wrong. And it is a small, hot pink ducky with black devil horns.
Wow, amazing. I so Elsie definitely has her phone with her and a little tripod. She was told that she can't release any of the footage for her channel until after the episodes have aired, but they did allow her to do some, behind the scenes vlogging and stuff as long as she didn't release anything. It's going to be a whole nightmare to edit all that stuff down, but she has those things. She also has a mirror. Number one, to check her face, make sure there's nothing on her face while she's, tasting things, making sure things are okay. But she also has the mirror to give herself pep talks. She looks in the mirror and is like, you know, I belong here. You know, I'm a talented baker. And she does like affirmations to herself in front of her little portable mirror. Yeah, those are the things that she has. Um, okay, there is our inventory set.
And now we get to go. Now we inch closer and closer to the circumstances of our fateful encounter. I almost said fatal. No, fateful.
I mean, accidents can happen in a kitchen.
Yeah. So different we have a couple of different options. We have the challenge, the chance encounter, and the trap. I think the challenge is the most straightforward, and I think that works the best with ours. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. This is a great opener for us. Um, yeah, this part was the part that I read it, but I was like, I didn't retain nearly as much of it, but
Mhm.
yeah.
And
So,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do we want to um roll for things, or do we want to just establish things narratively? I think we've been doing a great job of just establishing things narratively.
I think that we should roll for it and then
Okay.
do narration based on that. What do you think?
Oh, okay. I'm down.
Okay.
Let me check. I keep forgetting there are actual die rolls on here. Is it 2d6 if I remember correctly?
For this, it is 1d6.
Oh, well,
The 2d6 are for the penalty moves.
I am going to have multiple d6s out just in case. Okay. Um let's run with it then. Um
Okay. Since I had the advantage, that means you get priority. So I think that means in this you would be the challenger, right?
Oh, la da la da da. Boop, 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 boom. Well, priority just breaks ties, essentially.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but the player who start. Oh no, okay. The player with priority is the one that's being challenged.
Oh, okay. So I would be the challenger. Oh,
Oh my God, she's being challenged by her hero. Oh no. this this
okay.
this just makes
So
everything like a million times better.
it looks like one of us rolls on this. So do you want to roll or do you want me to roll?
Go ahead. You're the challenger.
Okay.
Let's see how this works out.
Okay. So 1d6. And I'm using virtual dice for this because I have a cat and he gets tempted whenever I bring out the actual physical dice. So,
Oh, we get to decide one of our moves now as a response to this, right? Like our opening. Oh, nice.
and actually it determines your opening move though.
Oh, we have to roll for it? Okay, I'll roll for
No, 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 no,
mine.
no. Just on the opening. The dice roll determines your move.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I got a
I'll
4, which means you were prepared and you parry to win the turn.
Oh no, I rolled a 1.
Well,
Oh,
either we only needed to roll one
oh,
dice for this.
oh, okay. Okay, I misunderstood. All right. So you okay, so uh
So you won.
I was prepared. Okay. Oh my goodness.
So describe this.
Okay.
Well, let's go down to the parry win here.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
And go ahead and read over that and tell me what happened.
So, all right. Phew. Okay. Think what happens here is, well, first of all, let's set up how the actual encounter first starts, right? Because I assume this is like either before the cameras start rolling, they're in the green room or something. Let's establish that first, right? Like where are
Okay.
we specifically? So I'd be open to hearing your input about that. Um,
I need to sneeze. Give me one moment. Whew, excuse me.
Bless you.
Okay. Thank you. I think I think before the cameras start rolling, but the way that Cupcake Wars works is you have the host in the empty kitchen giving a rundown of everything that has happened before this. They're ratcheting up the tension. And you can hear like the low kind of rumbling guitars under this because we're going with the Mad Max theme here, right? And the host who is somehow wearing like a leather vest and a cape and the chef's toque. It looks really weird. He's
It's a
talking
it,
about how
it's a leather chef's hat.
yes,
So it's on theme but still weird. Um,
but still weird. He's thinking about he's describing it and he's talking about how we've both each fought our way up through the ranks with our innovative cupcake techniques. And now the veteran versus the newbie, the whisk taker versus the young gun.
um,
And the camera pauses
where,
over a closed metal door. We are waiting behind that closed metal door in a hallway. And in the hallway, I tell you, make sure that you don't slip up. You wouldn't want that to wind up on camera.
I think as a reply, Elsie will just say, "Don't worry about me. At least I'm still relevant." And has like this
Whoa!
posturing, like really cocky, like kind of, like she's like she kind of is trying to. It's one of those things where she just kind of said it because she was like really insecure, and not because she meant it, but just because she was like, I belong here. She had just finished giving herself a pep talk, and then she got all sassy, and then she immediately just keeps looking forward and doesn't make eye contact.
All right. Okay. So, and I kind of flinch a little bit, but I turn that into like a war face. So the door, like it's like one of those industrial like roll up doors,
Oh, roll up doors, yes, love the
like what you see
vibes.
in a Costco, and it
Yeah,
rolls up.
yeah.
You hear the, and we both stride out. I'm looking very determined and slightly sweaty in my linen attire, and
Um,
you can see the ducky perched on my shoulder. Like, that did not go the way I wanted it to.
Elsie is like she's got a long braid, a long red braid behind her. Cute little ginger. She is flying to her station, like striding, and it looks real elegant, probably because she's practiced it. She's very savvy with the cameras because she, you know, is a content creator and influencer, so she knows how to place herself and look really cool. And um, she goes to her station to join the assistants that they have there, because like in every Food Network competition, there's always like a team there of assistants.
And the air is already starting to fill up with smoke as there are intermittent jets of flame coming up on either side of the stage. It's getting really hot in here, which is going to be terrible if either of us decides to work with buttercream because that stuff melts. Oof. Okay. So, because you started off with priority, I think it goes back and forth, right?
Yeah, so you gave me priority just as a note. So we are. So how do we actually want to format this? Is it like, because I know that in certain food competitions, every like time interval, there's like some kind of um wow, words, some kind of like plot twist or something that
Mhm.
will like challenge the bakers or whatever. So is it that every time there's a time interval, one of us can attempt to mess with the other, like as far as the format of the competition?
I think, well, each turn, oh, each person words, yes. I have them too.
We're
Content
doing great.
creation, doing it live.
We're doing great.
I think that if we got really creative, we could describe our move as our way of reacting to the as our way of like doing sabotage.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
we describe this as kind of Iron Chef with chopped
And
and baked
baking.
goods.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what move you choose, the person who goes first, they describe their move in the context of sabotage or some action in the cooking show.
Yeah. Our Well, the thing is, the moves that we do each turn determines who kind of gets the upper hand, right? So we
Mhm.
so we choose the move, and then I guess we can narrate how it ends up
Yeah.
working out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. eh,
So,
So, yeah, priority helps to break ties, and
and
yeah,
okay.
it doesn't really
So,
do anything for the narrative. Like, it just helps us break ties because ties are hard. Um,
okay.
I've played rock paper scissors where I've tied like 4 times. It's really obnoxious. So I love I love this. Let me.
So, because I'm still feeling well, my attempt to get you kind of off guard didn't really work. So I'm going to attempt something more sneaky this time. You ready? Let's count down and then we will both display our move.
Okay, just give me a second.
Like I'm shifting back towards that tactical mindset. Ready? Go. Three, two, one. Haha.
Elsie is feeling very confident. Also, I for some reason my
Yours is the right way. And so you know what?
no, I as a producer, there's stuff that I'm seeing that's I can see yours. I don't know if it's because my camera is not
Okay.
flipped, but
Well,
it's fine. See? All right, let's go.
so let's see. I went with a feint and you went with a thrust.
So,
Thrust
um
beats feint.
Elsie Elsie is feeling really confident, and she she's like, warm-ups over, I've trained for this, I have practiced, I know my opponent, and she somehow has managed to put aside the fact that she is competing against her hero, and she is just defaulted to her culinary school training, and she, in her initial prep work, decides to go into her notebook, her baking journal, and she goes back into a specific page to refer to a really epic recipe that she had done of like the perfect mocha um, sponge with um, some kind of honeycomb crumble. And she's like, you know what? That is the key right there. So she is gathering her like strongest recipe and her like, she is going all out with her kind of opening
And
strategy, which is just, I am throwing everything out on the counter now.
I had tried to be a little bit sneaky beforehand and I'd noticed that your recipe book had all these little post-its marking the different recipes. And I had bribed I had bribed a production aide to mess with your post-its. But because you knew your recipe book so well, you're like, you know what? I don't even need it. I know what I'm doing.
Um,
And I'm going to mutter under my breath, well, that was $20 wasted. God, they need to get better production assistants around here.
the PAs don't get paid enough.
So I'm not going to hold up the cards because mine goes backwards.
No, no, no. I think I see. I don't know if it's just video doesn't flip them. I think it's
Okay.
fine. I think it should be fine
Okay.
because I think it does because it shows my thing not flipped the right way, but it shows yours flipped the
Oh,
right way.
okay.
So I think it's
Okay.
fine. I'm sure this will be edited out in post. It's fine. Um, we'll just go with it, and then if something is wrong, Sarah can come yell at me.
Doing it live. Yeah. Okay.
Doing it
So
live.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
Ooh, faint beats parry.
yeah.
So I'm going to try something sneaky again. This time, while you are busy pulling up your recipe and making sure that you're familiar with it, I am going to kind of casually saunter over to the ingredient fridge.
Oh no.
Your mocha recipe requires a French press full of fine, dark Ethiopian roast coffee. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take it over to my bench and I'm going to pour it into a cup and start casually sipping.
Hold on. Um, hold on. Let me see what. Okay. Um, so Elsie sees this in her peripheral vision, and she snaps at one of the assistants and says, "Get me more coffee!" and freaks out. It has to be the perfect temperature. It has to be the perfect. It has to be the perfect cup of coffee. I need it for this. I need this for the cupcakes. And she just starts losing it at one of the assistants while the other one is trying to, um, make honeycomb from scratch. Um, and the assistants are like looking at each other like, we don't get paid enough for this. And she is having a bit of a meltdown right now, because she
And I'm
is
just going to casually sip my coffee and be like, hey, Ducky, this is pretty good coffee, isn't it?
meanwhile Elsie in the corner is having a meltdown and taking it out on her assistants. It's so great. I love it so much. And then like as it zooms in on her face, it's like never meet your heroes, they say. I guess I know why. And she just butters all like disgruntled.
There'll be a sinister guitar riff and more fire.
It's Phoebe's villain era, like straight. In the editing makes her look so sinister that it's cool. I'm sure that like when you play it back, like it'll be the most amazing thing on reruns. Let's see. Let's try.
So, while you're working on your mocha honeycomb cupcakes, I'm doing a staple of mine. I'm going with one of my first hits, and that is a maple bacon cupcake. So it's a yellow cupcake that has a maple buttercream on top and candied bacon bits. What makes this special though is that there is a crunchy oat layer par baked into the bottom.
Ooh.
So you have crunchy, soft, frosting, crunchy, and the perfect mix of salty and sweet. So that is what I'm doing. And now, are we ready for our next move? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Woo.
Ooh. Okay, parry
Yeah.
beats thrust.
So Elsie is getting frustrated she is not having a great time. And hold on. What turn is this, by the way? I was trying to keep track of
This is turn 3.
okay. Sorry, I
You
just
got a point from the opening because you won that little
yeah.
opening encounter. So we are currently tied at 2-2.
Yeah, no, this is wild. This is getting
Yes.
intense. However, Elsie is a little bit kind of thrown off her game. She has just kind of gotten so frustrated that it's a very spacious area, right? Like
Hmm.
the stadium itself is really spacious, but as she is going to get the coffee that her assistant had to rebrew because someone drank from it, she tries to knock over an entire bowl of bacon that's supposed to go in Phoebe's cupcakes, but she doesn't get her elbows out quite, so she just is stomping around. And the attempt was to knock over the bacon, but she just it's a swing and a miss. She's just stomping around like a grumpy little child um, to
And
get the coffee.
hearing the stomping, I'm gonna take another sip of that coffee. Oh, it's so good. And I'm
I
just gonna reach out and put a steadying hand on the rim of the bowl of bacon to make sure that it stays where it needs to be. Keep an eye on that, Ducky. We're gonna need that later.
Oh my god, I'm trying to be serious. I can't even be a little bit serious. It's great. Um,
Okay.
so I think you have priority now. I forgot to keep track of it, but for
Okay.
tiebreaker purposes, you have priority.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see here. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
Feint beats parry.
god damn it. She is having a time.
Oh my goodness. I honestly
I
didn't
don't
expect it to go this way.
honestly,
But you know what?
they say never meet your heroes. This is why. Um, um I think at this point, like Elsie is just so out of whack and like off balance that she is just um kind of protectively working like hunched over on her own station trying to get things together, and she is she was working on like because she's young, she was working on little meringues that she had chocolate meringues, and she
Hmm.
had piped them so they look like poop emojis to put on top of the cupcakes because uh yeah poop emojis are funny, and her her community would appreciate the humor. It's like
Hmm.
it's a shout out to her fans. And she is working on that. However, she she is essentially she had to do a second batch of meringues because she messed up the second one or the first one, and she didn't quite get the stiff peaks correctly, and she's just like she's definitely off balance. And the assistants are like looking at each other like, we're definitely not getting paid enough for this. And they are
And
getting
I'm
really
gonna
nervous.
hold out my coffee cup, and I'm going to say, "Hey, Elsie, you need some caffeine? You're looking like you're dragging a little bit here."
She takes the coffee cup and dumps it into her cupcake batter and then returns it to Phoebe without saying a word. She just puts more coffee in the cupcakes.
Joke's on you. Coffee goes well with maple and with bacon. All part of balanced breakfast.
She butters something along the lines of, "Wish I'd thought of that." And
Okay.
she's having a bad time, and I like, little sidebar, I'm having a great time that my character is having a bad time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, little bit of player lore here, just as an aside. I love it when my characters are having a bad time. Let's go.
That's when you get some of the best drama, though.
Yeah, let's try this.
3, 2, 1.
Did I actually win one?
Oh, faint beats Perry.
We still
So
tied? I think you're still. Are you one ahead, or are we tying? I'm
I
like
think you
trying.
I think we're tied again now.
Okay, excellent. This is a really heated competition, and
Oh, yes.
it's I mean, they really did not spare any expense for the pyrotechnics in the finale. They doubled down on that.
So I talked a big game about the coffee, making the whole thing like a complete breakfast. But the fact is, I'm a little bit thrown off by how am I going to compensate for this extra moisture in the batter? Because I could add some more flour, but that would that would risk them being like too dense, and it could throw off the flavor too. So with that little bit of coffee sabotage, you've thrown me off my game a little bit, and now I'm just kind of I'm the woman doing math meme. You can see me kind of pausing and doing like, what do you think, Ducky? There's just a little bit of too much, that coffee is too much water, and now it's just kind of like soup, but you can't really drink a cupcake. What am I supposed to do, Ducky?
um, I think what happens at this point is that Elsie, number one, spies the bowl full of bacon, picks one up, and then does, she basically does, turnabout's fair play. So she starts eating the bacon that's supposed to go in Phoebe's cupcakes, and just without blinking, she says, so I hear you're looking to settle down, move to a brick and mortar. Good luck with that. I'm going to win the money. And she
Uh,
just starts snacking on the bacon and just, yeah, she just basically is like, yeah. She knows from her intense fangirlish knowledge that this is something that means a great deal to Phoebe, like, kind of in the later part of her career, to settle down. And she's just like, no, I'm the one standing in your way. You can't have that. And she's like, thanks for the bacon. And walks off.
Okay. Things are getting spicy.
Yeah, I love this so much. This is such a fun game.
It is. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Feint beats Perry. What you didn't know, in addition to that bacon being candied, there is a little bit of ghost pepper mixed in with that, well, with the maple syrup that I used to candy the bacon. So, bringing the heat, you just snarfed down on that bacon like it was the most delicious thing in the world, but you got a mouthful of fire.
oh man. Woo!
And
You see, like, Phoebe just sees in the corner of her eye while she's working, just Elsie, like, um, like doubled over and like trying to get water or like milk or something, and
you
she's
might want to
definitely this.
get some milk for that. Water only spreads the fire.
So she is out of commission at this point. She is grabbing some milk. She's taking a few minutes to drink some milk. She is just like, who puts ghost peppers in cupcakes? And just freaks out. And she's turning bright red because of the spice. And she freaks out. Yeah, that's great.
More fire up on either side of the stage.
Oh my gosh, Phoebe is such a villain and I love her. Oh my
Hmm.
god.
You don't get ahead in the food truck wars by being nice.
Um Oh my gosh, I am crying right now. This is so great.
Yes,
I love this so much.
yes.
Um this is exactly as much fun as I thought it would be. Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Did you get it
Perry
yet?
beats the rest.
Yeah, no, she is Elsie. Elsie is getting absolutely frustrated. Her buttercream is too much cream, not enough butter. Her It took her like 2 tries to get her meringue poop emoji things to settle, and her batter doesn't have the right amount of coffee because Phoebe keeps drinking it like a total villain. And so she is just no.
I've I've figured in the time that it took you to recombobulate after ingesting that ghost pepper maple bacon. I've
Yeah.
taken the time to work out the precise formula of ingredients that I would need to use to adjust my recipe to compensate for the extra coffee, and it is going to be freaking amazing, if I do say so myself.
Um yeah, and so yeah, I think in her kind of failed aggression, um she kind of yeah, she kind of just yells, um no, you're on the way out. Soon you'll just be a washed up has been. And she tries to sabotage the cake batter by adding more liquid because that's like the problem. However, because she's so blindly raging, she just misses the bowl completely and just spills a bunch of coffee on the counter instead. And she's like, just shrugs and storms off. And she's like, oh, hate it here. Rage.
And I will give a pointed look to one of the team and just look at the coffee, just like, yep. The PA will understand, the assistant will understand what's going on and will take a folded microfiber towel off of a stack and scurry over it very hastily, wipe up the mess, and then go back to crumbling bacon.
Yeah, no, that poor Elsie is not having a good time, and there's footage of it on her phone, and just like behind the scenes vlogs, probably gonna get scrapped. No one's gonna see that. Just so bad. Yeah, you are doing great.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Jesus Christ, this is brutal. That's rough. She's having such a bad time. And I think what she's gonna do is just kind of, hunker down and bury her head and just try to calm down because she is so upset about it. It's just so sad.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's a
We
tie.
have a tie.
I think because this is the 8th round, you have priority actually.
Okay.
Because I had priority in the first round, so you have priority in the even numbered rounds.
Okay.
So that means you win again.
Oh, geez.
No, this is great. I love this so much. Don't feel bad. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see what happens when you lose a parry. Yeah, okay. So you
for the tie.
the character without priority believes they've finally spotted an opportunity to counter. But yeah. How would this work out? Give me a moment. Oh, okay, that's perfect. So it because you have priority and it's a parry win. Essentially, what ends up happening is that um, Elsie will try to posture, and there's a little tripod set up on the counter with her phone, and she looks directly at it and she says, you know what? I wasn't really a fan anyway, and just kind of speaking to her audience a little bit. She's like, she's not as cool as I thought she would be, and just gets all like postury and is trying to pretend like she doesn't care, but she is definitely like really sad. She's just pretending like she doesn't care.
Are we monologuing? I didn't know that monologuing was involved with this. Did you know that, Ducky? If I'd known that we were going to be monologuing, I would have brushed up on my Shakespeare. Too bad. I got really good marks in high school. Oh well.
I love Phoebe so much. She's such a villain. Okay, wait, hold on. Wow, we are so close to the end. Hello. Good Lord. She's just
Okay.
plowing right through. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Whee. Ha! Now I win because I have priority. Okay, so let's see what happens on a tie when you faint. Okay, so essentially, um, Phoebe's trying to get a response from Elsie, and she doesn't fall for it this time. And then she raises the stakes. Um, so yeah, how does Phoebe try to bait Elsie this time?
You probably, you're so used to your ring light that you're not used to dealing with actual fire. You can't stand up to the heat like I can.
I think what um, Elsie says is, well, you know what they say, practice makes perfect. Um, right before this filming, I was invited to participate in Wedding Cake Wars 17. So I guess I'll have practice with the heat in this kitchen.
If you say
And
so.
and she and she will so she basically is just like kind of throws it back at Phoebe with a challenge like I could do this all day. I could do as many of these competitions as they'll allow me to do. Bring it. I can, So she's like basically like just giving off the vibes of like I can do this all day. Let's go. Um so that is holy crap, it's 6-4. Jesus
Hmm.
Christ. Oh my gosh. Getting trounced. You're really close to the end game. Hello. I I know exactly how it's going to play out too. Okay. Um. All right. I'm
Three,
ready.
2, 1.
Ooh, I got a thrust.
Parry beats thrust.
Yup. Um. Is that okay? You are almost there. 2 points away from trouncing your competition.
So you do know that the ratings for you do know that the ratings for that series significantly dropped after 10, right?
Elsie's eyes flashed like um kind of like a panic look for like just long enough for Phoebe to notice that she's gotten to Elsie, and then she just goes back to working. That is the amount of reaction that Phoebe gets, but it is enough to set panic in, this child's eyes.
Perfect doesn't mean anything if nobody is watching.
That strikes a chord with Elsie. She is like, her eyes are watering because the whole point of her existence is for people to watch. And you know, um, her brand and her YouTube channel and everything. And she has lowered her head and she has essentially demanded that the assistants flank her so that she is not visible to Phoebe's station, like, and that is That is, oh, we are getting close, and Elsie is not doing great.
How about them apples, Ducky? And you won't see huge jets of flame, but the fire is now roasting. You're getting an image of like flames of hell, and you're hearing like thrumming guitar riffs with occasional screeches like somebody's being tortured. The heat is rising in the kitchen.
Oh, oh, wait. So if you win the next point, something fun is going to happen.
Uh-huh. So once one of us gets to 8, something fun is going to happen.
Yeah, you're the one that's the next point. So if you win the next point, something fun is going to happen. um, not gonna lie, I hope you get that 8 because I have the most dramatic thing in mind for Elsie's inevitable failure.
Oh, 3, 2, 1.
Hold
Fate
on,
tie.
hold on. Yeah, no, this is like round 12, so you are in the tiebreaker. So,
Oh my gosh.
wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I
No,
actually
it's
won.
you.
I counted it wrong. I know how to do numbers. I actually win this tiebreaker. Okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's you.
Okay, so um ah you are laying it on thick because you know you've got Elsie on the ropes, Phoebe. So what's the next move?
I am going to go on over to that ingredient fridge again, and I'm just going to look at it. Like, what can I take out of here next? And, there's a little bit, oh, there's some, hmm, I've decided that I'm going to get a little bit fancy, and there's some, well, it's time to make up the buttercream. And I'm going to take that butter out and bring it back to my bench.
Um Elsie doesn't blink because she already has her buttercream set. But what she does is she then um, escalates and she grabs strawberries from the ingredient fridge after Phoebe has gone, and she um, will cut them up and put them on top of her cupcakes, right next to the poop emoji meringues. Because strawberries and poop emojis, am I right? She's trying to have a good sense of humor about things because her self-esteem is struggling a little bit, but she's trying to, at least for the time being, she is putting on a brave face for the camera because of her hyper awareness of cameras.
And I'm just chilling out with my ducky.
Okay. I'm having the
3,
best time.
yes. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, you you definitely win this one because I just had priority. So this is number 8 for you, which means
And I draw my weapon.
I definitely also, well, it's the person who's losing that has to draw their weapon.
Okay.
Their opponent must. Okay, so we both draw our weapons at this point. It's very dramatic, but I think what happens when Elsie tries to grab her book off the counter, just to add insult to injury, like um something spills on her book, like buttercream or something, and it stains an important page, and she is just like shocked, and she flips out, and she's trying to not break eye contact with Phoebe while she's trying to wipe the buttercream off of her book.
And I notice that there's a little bit of something happening. And I don't even give it, I pay it no mind. I say, Ducky, looks like somebody went for pure buttercream. But you have to know, when you're working on a recipe, you have to tailor it to the environment. Working in a high heat environment means that you need to cut the butter content and put in another kind of fat that doesn't melt so easily. And I bring out a tub of Crisco.
Shortening.
Looks like the young gun forgot the lard. And I will scoop a portion, an equivalent portion, and drop it into the mixing bowl, flourish the whisk, and be like, now it's time to shine. And I'll flourish the whisk and just, whoa! You'll see the muscles flex as I just start furiously whisking the buttercream into the best consistency. And I'll look over at my assistants like, you know what to do. And they start furiously running around and grabbing the extra things like the maple syrup, maybe a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, all the extra ingredients that need to go in there, while I am working on my buttercream. It's intense.
Um, Elsie looks at everything that's happening in Phoebe's side of the stadium, and there's only one thing for her to do, and she is going for the essentially there's a station where you can grab like stands or display cases or whatever, and she goes for like a multi-tiered, like 5-tier cupcake display for that, and that's where she will put her cupcakes and a glittery display stand, and it's like pink and girly. um
3, 2, 1. Parry beats thrust.
So I just want to say, uh, Elsie has completely lost her shit. She is so far gone. She has raided basically the decorating supplies in the pantry and has picked up every shiny, glittery sprinkle and edible glitter and everything, and has just started dusting everything with like gold powder, gold luster powder. She's freaking out now because she is trying to aggressively sparkle. And she's having a meltdown, and her assistants are trying to like do damage control and like manage the spilling. It's a if you consider like it's the most anime thing where it's just glittery, shiny, sparkly dust and sprinkles coming out from her side of the kitchen, and it's become so hectic and wild that she's like,
Did you know that we were at a rave, Ducky? I forgot my glow sticks.
oh my goodness. That is number 9 for Phoebe. That's it. Her competition is so far gone.
And while the rave is going on over in the corner, I'm very calmly marshaling my crew to finish icing the cupcakes and put that crumbled up bacon on there. And I decide on a very, very plain, elegant display for my cupcakes, a simple round tray with a doily on it. The judges. Once the judges call time, we are asked to bring our presentations forward. And I look down at Ducky. It's like, you got this? I got this. We're good. And I will present my cupcakes to the judges. You see, you need to learn to adapt in order to be successful. So, as you can see, I took my worthy competitors edition of the coffee and I turned it into the complete breakfast cupcake.
Can I just say that there is a live audience and everyone is cheering for the, the complete breakfast cupcake.
Just be careful because the bacon has a little bit of a kick to it.
Here in the background of the presentation, Elsie just it she's not um filmed in this moment, but you can hear her voice that just in the background quietly, who puts peppers in a cupcake? Like faintly in the distance.
And after the judges try mine, I will step back and I will watch as they try Elsie's.
So technically would have gotten the last word, so they probably would have tried Elsie's first and have commented on the fact that it doesn't match the aesthetics that they're used to seeing from her, her videos and stuff. And she will feel really bad about it. And then she will storm off, and then Phoebe gets her moment in the sun.
And I will say, right before the end credits roll, after I've accepted my ceremonial cupcake tray or whatever the trophy is.
It's a gold. I imagine it's a gold plated cupcake. It's a gold cupcake.
A gold cupcake. Yes. I will look at the camera and I'll say, you know what? This is why you shouldn't poo where you eat.
Amazing. Did we miss anything in terms of what the game is? There's our resolution and our ending.
Oh my god.
No, we never actually used our penalty moves. I didn't think of using my penalty move.
We just had so much sabotage going on that it really wouldn't, I don't think it would have stood out unless you'd done something like really out there.
No, it was great. I got lost in the sauce. Thank you everyone for watching our absolutely wonderful playthrough of I Have the High Ground. I want to give a shout out to Jess for creating this absolutely lovely, wonderful game. I want to thank Shelby for, agreeing to do this with me. This is so much fun. I want to thank the viewers out there for your support and watching our content. If you enjoyed watching this, there are other I Have the High Ground sessions that are coming out on YouTube or have already been released, depending on when you watch this. Check out the other pairings. They have wonderful, hilarious, lovely stories.
Dance offs, clown battles.
Content warning for clowns.
Well, that's a legit thing. Some people are kind of scared by clowns, so be wary. There is one of those, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just subscribing to our YouTube is free. We're trying to get
We're trying to get monetized.
Yeah, we're trying to get the monetization going. So yeah.
Every subscription helps, and it's free. So
And
if you like what you saw, tell your friends.
watch our stuff too. There's a lot of brilliant content, a lot of different storytellers. You've got everything from our flagship Roll for Luck show every Wednesday. Got Good Society games, Regency Remix. We got superheroes, masks. Yeah, so help us monetize our YouTube. And I think that is all for this game. Shelby, sorry, please
Yes.
outro. Oh my gosh, my brain. I'm sorry.
No, you were on a roll right there. That's great.
No. Hey, whoever's doing the edit, please just cut out the last 30 seconds where I forgot to tell Shelby to do an outro, please. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I've been Shelby, aka Phoebe, the suddenly villainous cupcake food truck maven, and her good pal Ducky. I guess this just means that you don't mess with a trucker, even if they're a crab or if they're a cupcake baker. If they roll around in a truck, don't mess with them. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Anne. This was so fun, so much fun. Like, you really brought the drama. So, thank you for the idea and for rolling with this utterly wild concept. Also, thank you to our producer for making this look good. That takes a level of skill. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Video editing. Mwah. Thank you. And
So thank you for watching.
Our CEO Sarah, who did the overlay graphics and beautiful things that you see on screen. Yeah. And also there is a link on the overlay. Just look for the address. Pick up I Have the High Ground because Jess is awesome and you definitely want to play this game. And
Jess has so many other cool games that are just as detailed as this, that really focus on interpersonal dynamics. So if you really want like super intense two-player games, look at Jess's games. They're great.
Honestly, just buy Jess's games, period. Full stop. I love Jess. Anyway, now that love fest is over, I'll see you guys on the next adventure.
All right.
Bye. Bye.